Hello everyone. I am making this video for educational purpose to discuss the charts of India and Pakistan on the wake of the ongoing tensions between these two countries. Those who do not know, I will give you a brief outline. Recently, the tensions between India and Pakistan got escalated on 22nd of April 2025 when 26 Indians who were purely innocent had gone with their families to Pahalgaon in Kashmir, and they were killed cold-bloodedly at the point of the gun by the by the terrorists who were sponsored by the state of Pakistan. That was a cold-blooded killing by these terrorists, and that created the wrath in the hearts and minds of Indians and the government. And that time, the government of India created a plan called Operation Sindoor to destroy all these terrorists and their organizations. And then, ever since then, the tensions between these two countries have escalated to the highest levels. There have been shellings, missile attacks, drone attacks by these two countries on each other. But so far, Indian defense system has been so powerful that it has been able to destroy all the missiles and drones sent by Pakistan. The Operation Sindoor, which is the name of this operation the government has kept, is still ongoing, and there are still tensions between these two countries. Let's see what are the stars saying for Pakistan and India. Those who do not know, I would like to tell you that Pakistan was initially a part of India. At the time of its independence in the year 1947, the leaders decided to make India into two parts. One part became Pakistan, and the other part became India. So Pakistani side decided to make Pakistan on 14th of August 1947 at 2300 hours and 59 minutes. And the Indian astrologers, they decided to make India, to create India on 15th August at 2400 hours. So the birth chart of India is based on Delhi, and the birth chart of Pakistan is based on Karachi. Pakistan got Aries ascendant, and the Indian chart got Taurus ascendant. Taurus ascendant gave stability to Indian side, and the Aries ascendant is the ascendant which is movable. So it could always cause problems and disharmony in the country of Pakistan. So, what can we expect through the eyes of the transits, through the eyes of the ongoing dashas for these two countries, and through the Nakshatra Sanghat chart and through the Varshfal chart? I am going to discuss all these things through this video. So, first of all, let's talk about the ongoing transits of Pakistan. So, let me show you the chart of Pakistan. So, guys, this is the chart of Pakistan, and Pakistan is having the Aries ascendant, and currently Saturn has been transiting to their 12th house on 29th of March, and there it is conjunct with Rahu, and it will stay like this till 18th of May, and Rahu will change its position. So first, Saturn's transit is not good at all. Reason being, it is the 12th house for Saturn. So it is going to cause lots of suffering and warring situation and lots of, you can say, losses for the country of Pakistan. Saturn is being the lord of their 11th house is going to cause losses, denials, and being the lord of their 10th house will cause great difficulties to the government of Pakistan. I won't be surprised if there is another coup in the country of Pakistan because of this transit. So, whenever Saturn and Rahu are together, they will cause create great violence and difficulties to the house where they are placed. So, Rahu is going to transit to their 11th house, and Rahu is just like Saturn, and Rahu will be transiting its own sign. So whenever there is association of Rahu with Saturn in any ways, the problems will increase manifold. Also, Rahu works through Saturn. So if Saturn is not powerful, then how can Rahu bring any gains to this country? So thereby, next 1.5 years of Rahu's transit and even further 1.5 years of Rahu transit are not good for the country of Pakistan because Saturn is present in their 12th house till next 2.5 years. So we talked about the transits of these two planets. Now we'll talk about the Ketu's transit in the Pakistan's chart. Ketu will enter into their fifth house of their stock market, which will dip because of Ketu's transit. And the fifth house is also about the stability of the government, which will also be under severe depression when Mars will join Ketu in the month of June. So Mars and Ketu in the June month can cause some grave difficulties to the government of Pakistan. Now, Jupiter is currently in their second house, which is a good placement, which helped them get IMF loan. But now Jupiter will go to the third house, which is the Maran Karan Sthan of Jupiter. It's a weak placement, and this will cause difficulties in their luck factor, and thereby they will have lots of problems through this transit. Let's talk about the similar transit for the India. For India, Saturn is currently in their 11th house and it is connected with Rahu. This placement of Saturn Rahu is not bad because any planet in the 11th house transit is going to give you good results. And now Rahu will enter into their 10th house, which is a powerful position for Rahu. And Rahu works through Saturn. Saturn is already in the 11th house. So it will give India a benefit of being a nation which will come into the eye of the world, and India will be greatly appreciated. And this is a very powerful transit of Rahu and Saturn for this ascendant. Let's see the Ketu's transit. Ketu is in their fourth house. So this transit is very good for the change in the structure of the land. So India has been talking about taking back the Pak occupied Kashmir. So the Ketu transit in the fourth house can help that acquire for India. This is a powerful transit. Ketu will work through Sun, and Sun is sitting in the third house. Third house is all about the border clashes. It is also about the uh, increase of land. So Saturn in the third house will give them, sorry, Sun in the third house can give them increase of their territory. So Jupiter is currently in the ascendant of the India's chart. So ascendant is a powerful place for Jupiter in the transit because from here it is going to give success to the military, which we are seeing as of now, that the Indian defense forces are doing a great job and they are having a thumping victory over the Pakistani territory through their defense missiles and everything. So Jupiter's placement in the ascendant is very powerful for the Indian side. Now Jupiter will enter into their second house. Second house Jupiter is also very powerful where the monetary part is concerned. The GDP will grow during this time. There will be increase in the stock market. The stock prices will be doing better through this transit. And people who are investing their money in the stocks or in the mutual funds, they will also see increment through their investments. So Jupiter's transit in the second house is very good. But India will also spend their money for the defense forces through this transit. We talked about the transit now. Let's come to the Nakshatra Sanghat chart. So guys, that is a chart which is made to see the nakshatra position of the transiting planets, which I am not showing here, but I'll just explain to you. The Nakshatra Sanghat chart is very powerful. If there is any connection between Mars and Saturn through their nakshatras, then surely that year creates wars. or warring situations, or you can say border clashes. So during the time India and Pakistan were clashing with each other, that was exactly the time on 7th of May, and when Saturn and Mars were connecting to each other. And then on 12th of May, there was ceasefire. That was the time when the disconnect was made. I happened to check their further connection, and from the time of, I would just look into the dates which I have written, from the time of July. So from the time of July to 22nd of July, 1st July to 22nd of July, Mars will be in the Purva Falguni Nakshatra and Saturn is in the Uttara Bhadra Nakshatra. They are opposing each other, means they are connecting to each other. That is the time, you can mark my words, that both the countries would be in the warring situation. And this is the time which is very powerful for the Indian side. So let's look at it from the Dasha point of view. From the Dasha, both the countries are going through their Chidra Dasha. Chidra Dasha is the ending period of one Dasha and the beginning period of the next Dasha. So they are, India is in the Moon Sun Dasha and Pakistan is also in the Moon Sun Dasha. But being the ascendants of Taurus and Aries, their meaning will be differently felt for both the countries. So for India, Moon is their third lord and sitting in the nakshatra of Saturn, again in the third house, and Sun is their fourth lord sitting in the third house in the nakshatra of Mercury. So both their nakshatras are very powerful and they are sitting in the third house, making the Indian army very powerful, and thereby they can extend their land through this dasha of Moon and Sun. Of course, India has been talking about the POK, Pakistan Occupied Territory, which can happen during this time itself, before September. So let's see the same period for Pakistan. They are undergoing Moon Sun period, but Moon is their fourth lord and Sun is their fifth lord. Sun is sitting in the nakshatra of Mercury, which is their sixth lord, and Moon is sitting in the nakshatra of Saturn, which is their 10th and 11th lord. Now, the problem is that this connection is being made in the fourth house. So, the fourth house is basically affected. Fourth house is what? It is their land, it is their people. So, the land and people are affected because of the presence of Mercury, that is their sixth lord. Mercury is extremely malefic for the Aries ascendant. So, it is going to cause them grave problems because of this placement. And Saturn is also malefic and badhak for this ascendant. So it means Saturn is what? It is their government. So because of the evil tendencies of their government, they will be in trouble. The land and the people will be in trouble. Then comes the Mars period. Mars is what? Mars is their ascendant. Ascendant is the country itself, is the birth of the country, and Mars is their eighth lord. Eighth house is the death of the country, and sitting in the third house. Third house is the loss of the land. So all these things indicate that there could be the loss of land with the incoming dasha of Mars. They will see themselves in border clashes, they will see themselves in wars. It doesn't have to be through India, it can be through the other states in Pakistan. Already Balochistan is indicating that they want to be separated from Pakistan. Then Khyber Pakhtun. So there are various internal clashes also which are happening. But here they are, the Mars is sitting in the third house, which shows border clashes, and it also shows loss of land, which will happen during the time of Mars Dasha also. So so Mars Dasha is not good for the country's health, and it is showing some losses. Then we will see the same Dasha for India. India will also enter into the Mars Dasha on 9th September 2025, and it will be ongoing till 2032. That will be the time India will see several wars, and India will emerge as a very powerful defense capable country, because Mars will initiate the defense capabilities of India. India will be spending money on its defense forces, and India will emerge very powerful during the time of Mars, and it will develop many sophisticated defense equipments during that time. Why I'm saying this is because Mars is in the nakshatra of Rahu, and Rahu is exalted in the Lagna. So, because of its defense capabilities, India will become very powerful, and the health of the country will improve because of our defense capabilities during the time. So India will definitely be engaging in several wars also during that time. But India will spend lots of money in its defense capabilities during the Dasha of Mars. Let's talk about the progression charts. So let's first see the progression chart of India. The progression chart is exactly the time every year when sun reaches the same degree as it was there in your birth chart. So that chart gives you an indication of your yearly predictions. So for the India, it is a Dvijanma Lagna, means the ascendant of the Lagna of birth and the progression chart, they are the same. So that is either a very good time or it is a very bad time for the country. But for India, it is not a bad time. Reason being that the ascendant is looking good here. There is no problem to the ascendant. The year lord is Venus, so it is also good here. And uh, there are certain conditions when the Dui Janma Lagna is not considered good. First of all, it should not be in the same degrees as your ascendant. If you see here, ascendant is at 7 degree 46 minutes, and here the progression chart is at 23 degrees 39 minutes. So it is not in any evil condition. And secondly, the nakshatra of the India chart is Kritika, whereas here the nakshatra is Mrikshira. So they are different nakshatras. Again, it is a safe time for India. So the Dvijanma Lagna, Muntha is not in a very good position, but the Muntha Lord is in a good position, aspected by the trine Lord Saturn. So India will see itself in struggles, but it will be a very good year for India. Okay. So why I said struggle? Because Saturn is looking, but it is also the trine Lord. So it will give India some kind of efforts to get what it wants. That is what it means. So coming to the Pakistan's progression chart, they are also having the Dui Janma Lagna. So the Dui Janma Lagna can either be very good or it can be very evil period for a country. So let's see. So the ascendant of the Pakistan ascendant is at 24 degrees. The rising ascendant is at 24 degrees 8 minutes. And in the progression chart, the rising ascendant is 23 degree 38 minutes, which is like at the cusp of the rising ascendant. So when this condition is met, it is a difficult time for the country. Let's see the nakshatra. The nakshatra of Pakistan is Bharani, whereas the nakshatra of this progression chart is also Bharani, because they are cusp. So if this condition is met, it is a very difficult time for the country. So next 1 year is very difficult for Pakistan. If we look at the Muntha, it is in the seventh house. Not a good placement for Muntha. Muntha is the sensitive point. The Muntha Lord is not that bad because it is sitting with Jupiter. All said and done, Moon is also weak here because it is being aspected by Mars, and the Lagna Lord is also weak here, going to the sixth house. In the sixth house, Mars in the sign of Virgo is extremely malefic. So all these conditions of the progression chart are not indicating towards something good happening. So I will just tell you in short, when are the times when India and Pakistan were undergoing the Dvijanma Lagna period. India had its first Dvijanma in the year 1951-52. That was a powerful Dvijanma when the elections were held for the first time, and Jawaharlal Nehru became the first prime minister, elected prime minister of India. And that was also the time when the first presidential elections were held. Then in 1986 and 87, that was again a Dui Janma Lagna for India. So, as I'm telling you these stories, it means that either it can be very good or it can be very bad. Okay, so if the Lagnas are cusping, Nakshatras are same, then it is a very bad time for the country. So, let me first read out what all things happened in the year 86 and 87 for India during their Dui Janma Lagna. In the 86-87 year, there was a military standoff with China, and uh, the troops had started marching towards the Indian territory. That happened in 86-87. Then in 1991, it was extremely bad Dvijanma Lagna for India when Kashmiri Pandits were had to do the exodus from Kashmir because of the escalating violence. And there was Mandal Commission also going during that time. And Rajiv Gandhi, our ex-prime minister, was assassinated in May 91. So that was an extremely bad time for India. Now let's see the Dui Janma years for Pakistan. In 1982-83, F-16 jets were inducted, and they also conducted their first nuclear test. So that was a good Dui Janma Lagna for Pakistan. So then in 86-87 they had their another Dui Janma Lagna. That was the time when hijacking incidents at Karachi International Airport were happening, and there was lots of violence going against mujahirs, and there were terrorist attacks also that they were facing. So guys, these are some of the incidents that I noted through internet about the period of Dui Janma Lagna for these two countries. So that was my analysis based upon the dashas, based upon the transits, Varshfal, and the Nakshatra Sanghatha chart of these two countries. So I hope you must have made your point about what to expect in the times to come. But having said that, I just want to say that India is going to emerge as a superpower once the period of Mars will come. And that will be the time when the downfall of Pakistan will begin. All the best for now, and keep uh, staying tuned to my channel, because very soon I'll bring a video on the transit of Rahu for all the ascendants. See you very soon. All the best.